How's it going, everyone? My name's Eddie Davenport. If you're on the Instagram channel, you know I go as Tech Kid. I'm out in my workshop today. Well, tonight, honestly. Molding some bullets, getting ready for some competition this weekend. So, hence the big old leather gloves, the stuff, and my sad team that sadly likes to let me down time and time again hat. But to kind of tell you a little bit who I am, if you're catching this on YouTube and you don't really know exactly who I am, I'm the editor for the North-South Skirmish Association's magazine, The Skirmish Line. I've been a competitive shooter all my life. I held multiple national championships. My claim to fame this past year was I won History Channel Season 1, Episode 1 of Mountain Men Ultimate Marksman. I won $10,000 shooting primitive weapons, well, not primitive, but, black powder weapons. And that was a lot of fun, not going to lie. But I've been wanting to do a post like this for a while. I've been wanting to try to address some of the states of what I see in black powder in 2023. And it's some stuff that, it's not exactly obvious what's about what's kind of going on in this world, and what some clubs do, and because things are changing up. In order to get your club to grow, you gotta. I'm not saying you gotta adapt with the times. You gotta change things up, but you gotta try to do some stuff. And I kind of want to address some of the issues that I see in gun clubs in general, but really muzzleloading, because that's what I live and breathe. Muzzleloading is my bread and butter. I love it. I like to consider myself like an ambassador to muzzleloading in America. I work with a few companies doing that. I work with Muzzleloaders.com. I actually shoot on their team. I've been working with David Pedersoli Firearms with that, and here shortly a couple powder companies as well. But this isn't about me. This is about how can I address some of the issues that I see going on in clubs. So let's start with the obvious one. How do people find out who you are? So in the old times, word of mouth, it worked perfect, guys. But we're getting past the point where word of mouth is how we do it. I mean, for example, I live out in western North Carolina. Well, if you look who I say it, I live in Canton, North Carolina, so it's a little town out in western North Carolina, okay? There's a couple shooting clubs out here that I had no clue that still existed, because when I went online to look for them, they had no posts since 2017. I would give you a little bit of a break if it was in the middle of the pandemic. I get you. But I thought the club was dead. I thought it wasn't going anywhere. I thought there was no members anymore because no scores were coming up, no things were anywhere. And I get keeping a website is hard. I get it. And if that's a lot of work, cool. Ditch the website, put it in archive it, and use a Facebook page. Make active posts on in my state in Kent, North Carolina, the Carolina Firearms Forums. But every state has something. Make sure that if you have something out there that you are constantly updating it, at least, once a month. Hey, we're having this shoot next month. Come on out. These are the dates. And then here's the key thing, guys. Please, and I'm saying this because it happens for a shooting range near me. Don't have an address that's not Google, you can't use Google Maps, or you can't use a GPS. I mean, most people just use Google Maps, guys. So don't have an address like that. Don't have a phone number here, contact him for this match information. If you're going to take the time to put the match information, who you need to contact, put it on the website, so someone who's in the middle of the week that wants to get into something or was really excited can just look it up and find it. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, but guys my age, I'm mid-30s, okay? I'm not old. I'm not also super young. It's middle, it's if you're trying to find information for a thing out there and it's not online, or the stuff that is online is super old, I'm just assuming it doesn't happen anymore. And that's across the board. That's why people maybe don't come see things. And we're already struggling enough trying to get more younger people into our sport. Let's not make it seem like we're dead or we're not doing anything. So what are some other issues that I see coming up? We talked about the range thing, okay, the website. Now let's talk about the gatekeepers of the community, okay? And so you know what? People want to hate on all, if it's not the purest form, it's not Jedediah Smith, then it doesn't deserve to exist. But guess what, guys? if someone enjoys shooting and they want to come out and learn, and all they own is an inline, I'm not trying to say you need to let inlines into your woods walk thing. That's not what I'm saying. But don't try to gatekeep the community. Some people, they get into muzzleloading through hunting, which is fine. I think it's fantastic. I used to be one of those gatekeepers now, so I'm kind of preaching to myself like 10 years ago, okay? So don't think I'm just attacking you. I used to think inlines were cheating and they didn't deserve to exist. You know, what made me come around is because I realized just kind of, one, they're fun to shoot, and two, they bring people into the sport. So when I go on to, I'm just going to call it out because like we all know it exists, the muzzleloading forum. We know which one I'm talking about, guys. There's a lot of gatekeepers out there that they're kind of like old salty guys that, like, you know, if it's not Jedediah Smith and it's not the purest of the pure, it doesn't deserve to exist. And like they kind of hate on everything. And I get it. There's a lot of like people who just aren't happy or hate on things in this world. I get it. But here's the thing, guys. If someone's wanting to enter into the sport and wanting to, like, if they're taking the time to come out to your club, make sure they're welcome with open arms, guys. And I know a lot of us do that already, but like, make sure they're welcome. Make sure, like, hey, like, this is what's going on. This is like, this is, you're welcome here. If you want to learn to shoot, maybe talk about having some club guns. Maybe talk about trying to like introduce things to people out there. In order for our sport to continue to exist, we're going to have to get more people in, and more people are getting into muzzleloading. Okay, it is. I consider it one of the purest sports and the funnest sports. Okay, don't get me wrong. I've built AR-15s. I like shooting fast and stuff like that. But I mean, there's something about, like, if you're watching this video and you're wanting to learn, there's something about actually taking the time to individually weld that gun, the smell of black powder, the big flash, the fireball, all this stuff, man. It's fun as hell, guys. And so we're trying to bring people more into this sport, and we don't want to push them away by our attitudes where people trying to come in are like, you know, of just hating on someone because, hey, like, all they own is like the is that little the little inline they bought from Walmart because they wanted to go shoot them hunting, and they're like, hey, what is this other thing? Like, what is cap and ball? What is I don't know, like, what is this thing that you like to do on the weekend? Like, you know, let's welcome people into our sport, guys. Let's try to, like, I don't know, I'm kind of beating this horse to death, but for a reason, man, because like, I'll kind of call it out. I hear it in my organization too, guys, and like, it kind of makes me mad when I hear this stuff because, like, you know, I live and breathe black powder, man. I love this thing. I didn't take on like the editor position for my organization because I needed the extra money. I mean, I took it because I want to see my organization grow, and I want to see black powder as a whole continue to grow and expand and can do well in the world. And like, we as a community have to do better. Like, and we already are like one of the best communities. Okay, so like, I'm not saying like black powder people in the world aren't good. Like, this is some of the best, most fantastic community I've ever met in my life. The issue is that, like, when only thing people see is like the forums and stuff like that, or all they're seeing is like the outward facing stuff. That's a problem, guys, and like, we need to do better about trying to call that crap out. We want to see this sport grow. We want to see this sport continue. Then you got to get to the point where you're calling that thing out. Okay, so what else? Well, honestly, guys, this one's going to be the hardest one, I think, to address, because it is not an easy one to address in general. But like, sometimes, man, like, we gotta realize that in order for like people coming out to do our sport, it is scary. It is not a always easy thing for someone to get into. And so when someone does come out, realize that they're taking a chance for us, and like, they don't know everything. And I'm separating this from gatekeeping for a reason, because people gotta have the ability to learn. They need to be able to have the chance to fail. And like, it is scary. It is scary to think to come out here and ask for advice. So like, if someone's asking for advice and like, you know, how to get better at something, how to get better at, like, you know, their shooting abilities, or hell, how to load a regular gun because you just simply don't know, because the only thing you've ever shot is modern guns, and they're asking on Facebook forums or online forums and stuff, like, give them that answer, man. Forget, like, we all got to start somewhere, okay? And so, like, be an ambassador for our sport. Okay, guys? Like, Every single one of us need to be an ambassador for muzzleloading. And this is just kind of how we are, man. We are a sport that uses antiquated arms in a world that is quickly moving away from antiques. and guess what? We have we have one of the coolest like shooting sports in the world. And like I'll say this is my plug for the NSSA, which if you don't know is the North South Skirmish Association. It is the coolest sport on the planet because we use muzzleloaders but team shooting style. So it's not like you're shooting paper. We're shooting breakable targets in a team. Man, that is the coolest thing on the face of the planet. And I'm kind of preaching to like the NSSA people here alone. I get it, guys. But I want to see muzzleloading in general succeed. I want to see the youth get into it. I got into this thing years ago because of my dad, and I am so thankful that he found what muzzleloading was when he was a kid. Because muzzleloading has opened up so many opportunities for me, man. I would not be talking to you here if it was not for muzzleloading because I'm just I'm just a guy. I'm no one special. Yeah, I mean, this is a little bit of ramble, and this is kind of the first thing I'm going to try to do other stuff like this, but this is kind of the first one I'm ever going to do. So I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this stuff, man. If you have questions, topics like that you want me to address, talk to me, man. I don't know. I'm going to try to keep these videos coming because I like doing this stuff, man. It's simple to do. It's something to talk about while I'm making some bullets. Thanks, guys.